The Why We Sleep was written by Matthew Walker. He is a neuroscientist and sleep expert who spent years studying why sleep is important and what happens when we don't get enough of it. In this book, he explains the science behind sleep in a way that's easy to understand and full of eye-opening facts. If you've ever wondered why you feel terrible after a bad night's sleep, or why some people seem to function fine on just a few hours of rest, while others need more, this book has the answers. One of the first things Walker tells us is that sleep is not just a time when our body shuts down. It's an active process where our brain and body do essential work. While we sleep, our brain processes memories, strengthens learning, and clears out waste that builds up during the day. This process is crucial because without it, our ability to think clearly and remember things diminishes. Studies show that students who get a full night's sleep perform significantly better on tests than those who stay up late cramming. This is because the brain consolidates new knowledge during sleep, strengthening the connections between neurons. Our body, on the other hand, repairs itself, strengthens the immune system, and even regulates hormones that control hunger, stress, and growth. Sleep plays a critical role in the release of hormones like cortisol, which regulates stress, and ghrelin and leptin, which control appetite. When we don't sleep enough, ghrelin levels rise, making us feel hungrier, while leptin levels drop, reducing the feeling of fullness. This is why sleep deprivation is closely linked to weight gain and even obesity. Many people believe that they can catch up on sleep later, but Walker makes it clear that sleep doesn't work like a bank account. You can't just sleep extra on the weekend to make up for lost sleep during the week. The damage from sleep deprivation begins almost immediately. Even one night of poor sleep can affect memory, focus, and even emotional stability. For example, studies show that driving while sleep-deprived can be just as dangerous as driving under the influence of alcohol. Sleep-deprived individuals have slower reaction times and impaired decision-making abilities, which can lead to serious accidents. Long-term sleep loss has been linked to heart disease, diabetes, obesity, and even Alzheimer's disease. One reason for this is that during deep sleep, the brain clears out harmful proteins, including beta amyloid, which is associated with Alzheimer's. If a person consistently gets too little sleep, these toxic proteins build up, increasing the risk of developing neurodegenerative diseases later in life. Additionally, studies on shift workers, who often have irregular sleep patterns, show that they have a higher risk of heart disease and diabetes due to chronic sleep deprivation. Walker also explains the different stages of sleep: light sleep, deep sleep, and REM sleep. Each stage has a specific function. Deep sleep is when the body does most of its physical repair, including muscle growth and cell regeneration. This is why athletes prioritize sleep. It helps their bodies recover from training and injuries. REM sleep, on the other hand, is when dreams happen and our brain organizes information and emotions. This stage is essential for creativity and emotional regulation. People who don't get enough REM sleep tend to be more anxious and emotionally unstable. One fascinating part of the book is how Walker debunks the myth that some people don't need much sleep. While a few rare individuals have a genetic mutation that allows them to function well on less sleep, the vast majority of people who think they're fine on 5 or 6 hours are actually harming themselves without realizing it. Their brain and body are performing worse, but they've gotten used to feeling tired and don't recognize the decline. In fact, studies show that chronic sleep deprivation impairs cognitive function as much as being legally drunk. Yet sleep-deprived individuals often believe they are functioning normally. So, how much sleep do we actually need? Walker is clear. Adults should get at least 7 to 9 hours every night. Teenagers need even more because their brains are still developing. However, modern life makes this difficult. We have artificial lighting, late-night entertainment, and work schedules that don't respect our natural sleep patterns. Our bodies are designed to follow a natural rhythm based on sunlight, called the circadian rhythm. When we ignore this, our sleep suffers. For example, people who use electronic devices late at night are exposing themselves to blue light, which tricks the brain into thinking it's still daytime. This reduces melatonin production, making it harder to fall asleep. Technology plays a big role in sleep problems. Phones, computers, and TVs emit blue light, which suppresses melatonin, the hormone that helps us feel sleepy. This is why people who spend time on their phones before bed often struggle to fall asleep and experience lower quality sleep. Walker strongly advises reducing screen time at night, dimming the lights, and creating a bedtime routine to signal to the body that it's time to rest. Even small changes, like reading a book instead of watching TV before bed, can make a significant difference in sleep quality. Another surprising fact is how caffeine and alcohol affect sleep. Many people drink coffee in the afternoon or evening, not realizing that caffeine stays in the body for hours. Even if you can fall asleep after drinking coffee, the quality of your sleep is worse because caffeine blocks adenosine, a chemical that helps regulate sleepiness. Alcohol, often thought of as a sleep aid, actually disrupts sleep by preventing deep sleep and causing frequent wake-ups. This is why people who drink before bed often wake up feeling tired. Walker suggests avoiding caffeine at least 6 hours before bedtime and limiting alcohol consumption to ensure better sleep. Walker also talks about how sleep affects work and school. He argues that starting school early is bad for teenagers because their natural sleep cycle makes them want to stay up later and wake up later. Studies show that students perform much better when school starts later in the morning. The same is true for adults. Getting enough sleep makes us more productive, creative, and better at decision-making. Businesses and schools that recognize this and allow for later start times often see better results. For instance, some companies that implemented flexible working hours found that employees were more focused and had higher job satisfaction. Sleep is also deeply connected to mental health. Lack of sleep increases anxiety, depression, and even the risk of more serious mental disorders. People who don't sleep enough tend to be more irritable and emotional. This happens because the part of the brain that controls emotions, the amygdala, becomes more active when we're sleep deprived. This makes us overreact to situations and feel more stressed than we normally would. In contrast, well-rested individuals tend to be more emotionally resilient and better at handling daily challenges. One of the most powerful messages of the book is that sleep should not be seen as a waste of time. Many people take pride in sleeping less, thinking it makes them more productive. But Walker argues the opposite. Sleeping well makes us healthier, smarter, and even happier. If we want to perform at our best, we need to prioritize sleep just as much as diet and exercise. So what can we do to improve our sleep? Walker provides some practical advice. First, keep a regular sleep schedule. Going to bed and waking up at the same time every day, even on weekends, helps regulate your body's internal clock. Second, create a relaxing bedtime routine, like reading a book or taking a warm bath. Third, make sure your bedroom is dark, quiet, and cool. This helps signal to your body that it's time to sleep. Finally, avoid caffeine and alcohol in the evening and try to get some natural sunlight during the day to help keep your circadian rhythm in balance. In the end, why we sleep is a powerful reminder that sleep is not a luxury, it's a necessity. If you've ever struggled with feeling tired, unmotivated, or sick, improving your sleep could be the key to feeling better. Walker's book is full of fascinating insights and practical tips that can help anyone get the rest they need. So if there's one lesson to take away, it's this. Sleep is one of the most important things you can do for your health, and it's never too late to start making it a priority.